One of the biggest pains in life is comparing yourself to others. We often think, why is she so successful and I'm not? But we don't try to understand something very important. Her path and my path are not the same. Remember this. If a fish wants to fly like a bird, it will spend its whole life thinking it is not good enough, even if it can swim across the entire ocean. These days, because of social media, this habit of comparing ourselves has become even worse. We see someone else's success and start to feel like our own life is small. We forget our own talents, and slowly, this kind of thinking pushes people towards sadness and hopelessness. That's why today's story is for anyone who has ever felt, I will never be as good as them. Listen carefully, because every line in this story can change the way you think. Once there was a small village near a town. Beside that village stood a big and beautiful forest. In that village lived a boy named Daniel. Daniel was a hard-working and kind boy. But there was one habit that made him feel sad all the time. He always compared himself with others. When he saw his friend Lucas getting the best grades in class, Daniel would think, I wish I were as smart as him. His neighbor Oliver was very rich. Daniel would think, I wish I had money like him. Even if he saw someone running fast, he would think, why can't I run that fast? These thoughts slowly filled his mind. Daniel became more and more unhappy. He couldn't focus on his studies. He didn't enjoy anything anymore. All the time he kept thinking, I will never be like them. One day, a wise old man visited the village. Everyone called him Grandpa Samuel. He always shared helpful advice, and people loved listening to him. Daniel walked up to him and said, Grandpa, I work really hard, but whenever I see someone doing better than me, I feel very sad. It feels like I will never be like them. Grandpa Samuel smiled kindly and said, Come to the oldest tree in the village tomorrow morning. You will find your answer there. The next morning, Daniel went to the tree. Grandpa Samuel was already waiting. He said, Look around carefully. What do you see? Daniel looked around and replied, Grandpa, there are many different trees. Some are tall, some are short, some have lots of fruit, and some have none. Grandpa Samuel smiled. Now imagine if this apple tree compared itself to the coconut tree and said, Why am I so short? Or if the coconut tree said, I wish I had sweet fruit like apples. How would that sound? Daniel laughed. That would sound very silly. Grandpa Samuel then asked, Now tell me, how does this whole forest feel to you? Daniel looked around and said, It feels peaceful and very beautiful. Everything feels just right. Grandpa Samuel nodded. Exactly, just like life. Every tree in this forest has its own special quality. In the same way, every person has different strengths. The apple tree gives sweet fruit. The coconut tree stands tall and strong. They are different, but both are important. Then Grandpa Samuel took Daniel to a small pond. There were many fish swimming in the water, and above them, a bird was flying in the sky. Grandpa Samuel asked, Now imagine if the fish said, I wish I could fly like the bird. Would that be right? Daniel shook his head. Of course not. Fish are made for swimming, and birds are made for flying. Grandpa Samuel smiled gently. Then why do you want to become someone else? You have your own path. You have many good qualities too. Maybe you just haven't discovered them yet. Find your strengths and move forward with them. After hearing Grandpa Samuel's words, something changed inside Daniel. For the first time, he truly understood something important. Every person is different, and comparing yourself with others only creates pain. From that day forward, Daniel stopped comparing himself with anyone. He started focusing on his own talents, his own work. Slowly, his confidence returned. Life started to feel fresh and exciting again. A few years later, through hard work and dedication, Daniel built his own business. He became an inspiration for the entire village. Whenever someone asked him, "Daniel, how did you become so successful?" he would smile and say, "Never compare yourself with others. If a fish tries to fly, it will always feel like a failure. But if it focuses on swimming, it can own the entire ocean. Remember this. The sun and the moon don't shine at the same time, but both are important. Find your own path. Walk it in your own way. That is where real success begins." If you enjoyed this story, like the video and share it with someone who needs to hear this message today. And don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring stories. See you again in the next story.